What's up, dudes? My name is Nick. Welcome back for another one of my music video reactions. Today in this video we're taking a look at the song Really Bad Boy from Red Velvet, which I mean, just judging by the title, I haven't heard any audio teasers or anything like that, but I would assume that this very well might be something that is a little bit of a follow-up in a way to the song that they released earlier in the year, 10 months ago or so. Maybe it was the end of last year. I don't know exactly the dates and stuff like that because, you know, I should have looked at that before I made this video. But I know it was uploaded like released like about 10 months ago. But Bad Boy, the beginning of the year, this might be a little bit of a follow-up to that. That song, at least in my circle of people that I follow on, you know, the internet and I kind of keep tabs on, that was a song that resonated with at least international K-pop fans like a lot, probably more than any other Red Velvet song up to that point. And you know, I don't, can they have that same sort of impact with this song? I don't know, but I'm of course excited to find out and to, you know, listen to this song for the first time because I've liked the releases so far this year. Their two, you know, main promo songs and stuff that kind of came with that have been very, very good and lots of fun. So I'm going to do what I do in all of my videos, and I'm going to give you guys my honest first impression thoughts on it, followed by a little bit more of a review. And the point is to kind of encourage you guys to share your thoughts on this song, whether you like it or you don't. Whatever your thoughts are, perfectly fine. And I encourage you to share them because we're trying to build a community here that's about sharing our thoughts no matter what they are. So if you want to join that community, then subscribe to the channel just to stay updated. So with that being said, let's get this song started. Let's just dive in. I don't even know, but let's just get it started. How about that? One, two, five. There we go. I think somebody at SM kind of just didn't realize that Halloween was last month. Literally 30 days from when this song was released. This is definitely different, I guess. I like how it's, you know, through when it comes to the music track, and that the music track isn't really like the focus of the song. It's definitely a very vocally driven song. Which, I mean, I think that's a really good thing for Red Velvet, for sure. I like it. I don't think that this is quite like a song that's gonna be like resonate with people necessarily, or has. Certainly for me personally, it doesn't like resonate as strongly as, you know, Bad Boy or Power Up even, but it's definitely a really good song. The one thing I'm not really a big fan of is like the chorus part with the, I guess you would call them ad-libs, whatever, from is it Wendy? I don't know. One of the vocalists. Yeah, I really liked it. That was definitely a really different spin on music from Red Velvet. Like that 100% was, you know, very, very much different. Like I said, that song mostly driven by the vocals of the song, which is great. It's a really fantastic fit for Red Velvet as a group. Talk more about that, you know, of course, coming up later in the video, I think. But you know, just from the very beginning, or just like my very first just general impression on this song is like I like the different, you know, approach with the being a more vocally oriented song in comparison to other Red Velvet releases. For sure, that is really awesome and is really good. Something I really enjoy. But at the end of the day, you know, comparing this song and my first impressions to it to, you know, the other two releases that they released that were promo songs and all the stuff that they released in this year, even going back through like the last maybe 12 months or so, going back to, you know, even Peekaboo back, the end or so of 2017, I think it was. This song is like, for me, the least strong positive first impression, but it certainly isn't a bad first impression. So that is something that I, you know, really enjoy. So I'm going to listen to this song some more, and I'll be back with some further thoughts and a little bit of a deeper, well, I guess further and deeper thoughts on this. But first, answer the question of the video that I've got for you guys here, and I'll be back in about 10 seconds or so. Let's get this review portion started with the biggest takeaway for me that I cannot get over and I really love is, like I talked about in the first impression portion of this video, the first half of this video, because sometimes the first impressions are the strongest opinions that you would have, and this song is definitely one of those songs. And it really just comes down to the fact that, you know, looking at this song in the context of pretty much every other song that Red Velvet has released, I might be completely forgetting about some of like their album tracks and stuff, but definitely promo songs with music videos and stuff like that. This is a little bit of a really big change for them, or it's at least a very different sort of song. And like I said, the big difference and the reason why it is very much different in a dramatic fashion from their other releases is the emphasis on the fact that the vocals are at the forefront, and the music track really isn't a big factor in this entire song. You get all of the different dynamic elements of a song, you know, from like high points and low points, you know, energy wise and intensity, and, you know, fast parts and slow parts, but all of that is driven off of the actual vocals themselves and not really the actual music track, because the music track is really just basically percussion and a little bass guitar in there, I believe, at points, with a little, you know, couple of other things, like I think there's like saxophone and other stuff that's kind of added into the music track at points to kind of add a little bit more depth when, you know, the vocals aren't really providing it. But all in all, the music track isn't really doing much of anything aside from basically just providing that whole percussion and that, well, you know, the line of instruments in a song that kind of provides the beat and the pulse of the song. That's about it. The music track is carrying the rest of the load, or I should say the vocal track is carrying the rest of the load in that regard. That's very different because, you know, Red Velvet music to a certain extent is very much been about the music track. Or the music track in Red Velvet songs has been a really big player in their music, and if the music track wasn't, you know, so prominent and as big of a factor, then maybe it wouldn't, they would be a completely different experience. And this does actually apply, I think, to a lot of, you know, what people would kind of would term their Velvet songs, because Red Velvet's supposed to be like a, you know, dual concept group or something like that. But, you know, like Bad Boy back in, or, you know, a couple 10 months ago or so, was probably what, you know, people would consider to be one of their more Velvet kind of concepts. But that was definitely a song where the music track played a really big role in creating the atmosphere for it. in this song, like I said, it all comes down to the vocals, and that is definitely something that I think plays into the strengths of Red Velvet as a group, because Red Velvet as a group is potentially one of, I mean, I personally would say as an entire collective group, has one of the strongest gathering or groupings of, you know, K-pop vocalists in, or I should say vocalists in all of K-pop. Definitely, they have got some really, really fantastic singers, and, you know, putting out a song like this definitely takes advantage of that skill set that these girls do have. You know, by and large, like at the very least, half of them are, you know, vocals in this group or something like that. Others definitely do provide some really, really awesome vocals as well. So, you know, they're really, really good in that department. You know, and like I said, to my taste, to my ears, and my opinion, they are definitely, you know, among the best. And this song just kind of takes advantage of that and puts their vocal ability and what they can do at the forefront of the song in a variety of ways. And that is something that I really, 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 really like. You know, and like I said, at the end of the day, whether this song is something where the music track was more prominent or less prominent, like it is in this version of the song, I think this still would be a really good song. I mean, Red Velvet would have, if the music track was more prominent, still would be a pretty decent song, I think. But the thing that makes it special is the fact that the music track doesn't play a particularly prominent role in the feeling of the song. That leads me to the thing that I'm not really, depending on how I'm feeling, I guess you can say, because there's points where in this song where I'm kind of feeling it, and other points where I'm not really, and they're the same exact parts. But one of the things that I don't necessarily like so much, which I think kind of is a little bit of a downside, I guess, to the fact that this is such a vocally oriented or vocal focused song, is that the parts that I think a lot of fans would kind of consider to be the ad-lib parts, you know, behind the actual members of the group who are actually singing the vocals, those kind of clutter up the music track. I don't really know how to come back from like answering the phone right there like that, so this is kind of awkward, but I really was very close to just finishing the video, so that was a little bit unfortunate. But the final point, the thing that I wasn't, that's like I'm kind of like off and on about, I'm not sure if I like, I'm not sure if I dislike it, or whatever my, you know, feelings are. What I was kind of saying, you know, those ad-lib parts, I think they're sung, especially during the chorus, which is really the thing that I'm like kind of a little lukewarm on as far as like my enjoyment of it. I think they're sung by Seulgi. I'm not entirely sure who the member is. The color-coded lyrics and stuff that I looked up really quickly is kind of difficult to kind of discern who's participating in those moments of the song. Specifically, but maybe a little bit more research will enlighten me a little bit more. Maybe you can, whoever. But those you know, what people would call ad-libs during the chorus specifically is something that they kind of make the song feel a little, at least in my opinion, they make it feel a little cluttered, a little, you know, a little chaotic. Like there's a lot of stuff going on and competing, which, you know, it is cool, it's fine, you know, it kind of is just what it is, especially with the fact that, you know, that's what K-pop music tends to be, where, you know, the music track and the vocal track are kind of, you know, frequently, at least in the past, and still with plenty of songs that get released where those are both, you know, basically like equal levels of attention. But, you know, with this song, with the vocal track being the primary focus, having an element of the vocal track that's kind of taking away from, or kind of distracting a little bit from the person who is supposed to be singing, or the members who are supposed to be singing, because I believe everyone is kind of participating in the chorus to some extent, it kind of sucks. It just makes the whole, that moment in that song at times, you know, kind of a little, you know, unclear. It loses a little bit of the clarity and the clearness that the song has throughout the rest of the parts of the song. Now, you know, my just kind of opinion on that is like, you know, the first chorus is the one that kind of feels the most, you know, muddy to me, but the others are a little bit more clear. So maybe it was just, you know, the first time I heard that and I was like, there's kind of a lot going on right now in this music track, or in this, you know, in this song. but the second time around that I heard it, and the third time around that, you know, now that I actually had that whole, you know, it was in my brain, then I enjoyed it. I don't specifically know, but you know, regardless, like I think that in this song that might be one of the points that people kind of dislike. Those ad-libs kind of potentially can be a little annoying and kind of interfere with the clarity of the song as a whole. So those are my thoughts on this song. I want to know what you guys think about it. You know, just leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to join this community that we're trying to build here, which is all about having some free and open discussion about our thoughts and opinions, then click on the subscribe button down below, because I got more videos coming up where this video came from. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.